1991, one of life's great mysteries. How could a year defined by some of the 20th century's great tragedies, mayhems, and upheavals, the first and generally better regarded Gulf War, the deaths of the Soviet Union and Michael Landon, Drop-Dead Fred and Hudson Hawk, also see some of the 20th century's great triumphs, the national debuts of Bill Clinton and the Super Nintendo, the deaths of the Soviet Union and Lee Atwater, Terminator 2 and Hudson Hawk, in an ironic, campy sort of way.
You could be swinging on a star.
Got the horse head?
The world may never know, or for that matter care very much, what with these no-good kids today and no sense of history with their internet cell phones and baggy jeans and FaceTube and U-Book and no sense of history or anything about it. Lamentably little noted and unlong remembered, however, at least by so-called historians, was 1991's most revolutionary moment, the fall of the so-called Windsor Wall, and with it the premiere of an all-punk rock modern music 89X, a radio station newly dedicated to the proposition that all men in the all-important 18 to 49 demographic are created equal in their appreciation for that kind of music. The architects of the new 89X and what became known as the Velvet Underground Revolution were Greg St. James and Mike Halloran. For a time, they sat back and were content to survey their success. But genius is restless, and they eventually decided to move on from the Detroit metropolitan area, and not just because it was becoming increasingly fashionable to do so. No, they heard the siren song of other things in other places, because America. So they split up, heading east and west respectively, agreeing that the best strategy was to conquer first the coasts and head inward, where they would establish a new punk rock-based capital at Joplin, Missouri. But the dream of a St. James Halloran-ruled United States was sidetracked, like so many things, by reality. Halloran remained resolved to remake radio in his image, and so stayed on the airwaves in Los Angeles and later San Diego. In his spare time, he rose from lowly stockholder to California division president of one of America's most successful corporations, the 6-time Fortune magazine Most Innovative Company award winner, Enron. After single-handedly inventing the rolling blackout, he shifted his attention to politics, becoming trusted advisor and chief political strategist for then-Governor Gray Davis. But radio remained his real calling, and so, throughout it all, behind the microphone he sat, entrancing audiences and just generally being a pretty cool guy. St. James established himself in the East, and upon arriving in the Washington, D.C. area, felt compelled to civic duty, and, like so many other patriotic Americans, enlisted as a lobbyist. He spent the 1990s and early 2000s aggressively pushing for financial industry deregulation and the weakening of oversight agencies, and counted among his close friends such influential movers and shakers as former Majority Leader Tom DeLay, the charismatic Ohio Congressman Jim Traficant, and consummate Washington insider The Devil. But eventually, he decided that a working-class hero was something to be, and became an emergency medical technician, saving lives and protecting the innocent from themselves. He also took a position providing voiceover work at C-SPAN, the country's premier cable destination for comprehensive coverage of And now these two men, Greg St. James and Mike Halloran, have been called back to action, to get back to where they once belonged, and again fill the Motor City's airwaves with the spirit of irreverent, rollicking, good music-y fun that made 1991 so memorable, and will make 2011, or at least a late May weekend of it, even more so. Plus it's for charity, so there's that.